In this video, I'm just going to show you how to extract URLs and links from Google Sheets. Now, the reason I do this is when it comes to new SEO clients that come on board, they might have numerous migrations in the past, changing from Shopify to Magento or Squarespace to WordPress, and developers unfortunately make a lot of mistakes in that process. So this is a way for me to use an app script which I've created to check the old sitemap using Wayback Machine and take the sitemap, extract the URLs of it, and then check if those have then been 301 or if they're 404 and then need to be mapped. So the way I found this example was of a client of ours. If you go back to historical data using Hrefs or SEMrush, you can see that there's URLs that are different, right? So you can see that they've lost. Now, if you click on this, you'll then see that they're 404 and not being 301s to the new version of the site. So that's a quick way to know and to check on your site to see if things have been done correctly. Now, best practice, you want to, before you migrate, have a list of all your products or all your categories, service pages, list of your whole site that's important to you, and then know what you're going to go to. Now, you can see that they were HTTP, so they weren't secure, which is obviously a big issue. And the new one is secure. Now, if they were secure and they went from, they were non-www and they went to non-www, that was a good one. That's a good thing. I wouldn't go from non-www to www because that's just an extra step that mistakes might happen. So always choose the correct path and keep it consistent. That's definitely what I suggest. So now, what I did was I found that this was an issue. I said, okay, well, that's likely a reason why this has dropped so much. And there's probably issues with that. So what I did was I went into the Wayback Machine, which is on web.archive.org, put in their website, and I looked at the period of time where that makes sense. So you can go into the old archive of the page. You can see it's very different to what it is now, which is like this. And if we scroll down, hopefully you can find something like a sitemap at the bottom. Click on the sitemap, and then it will bring up a list of hyperlinks, if you see here. Now, it's very rare that it's going to be the URL path. If it is, then great. Then you can just copy and paste those and add them to a sheet. But this one will have the web.org URL in it as well. So let's just copy and paste this over. And you'll see that I'll tidy this up a little bit. Let's do A to Z. Let's change this down. Let's move it over. And then we'll keep those. So you can see here's a list in here. We've got some URLs that are blank. Might just do that as well. Okay. And then we'll just do fill color 0, reset it just because I have OCD. And then we can get rid of these two columns because we don't need. So now we've got a list of old URLs. Okay. Now, how do we extract the URL out of here? So the reason I want to do that is if I just take this URL, I want to take this URL, take this out, get to this stage, copy that, paste it, value only, get rid of that, and then use Screaming Frog to then check if that 301's to any version of the site, which we probably know it's not. But to do that manually would take ages. So what can we use to extract the URLs into the URL form? So what we can do is go into Tool Extensions and go to App Script. And we can use this bit of code that I created. Come into here, get rid of that, paste in the code, and then save it, and then run. Once that executes, we can go back to the sheet. Sometimes it won't execute and you have to review permissions. Just come into here and press accept, go to advanced, come down and go to untitled project, come down to allow, and that will allow that to then execute. Once that is finished, we'll come back to here, and then you'll see that it's extracted all of the URLs from the hyperlink on the left-hand side. Now, the next step we need to do is go to edit, find, and replace. We'll look at the commonalities in here. So we can see this one's the only one that's different, and that's actually the sitemap, which we don't need. So we can just delete that row. And then we can see that this one is all the same in here. So go to edit, find, replace, and we'll remove all of these. And we want to get back to this stage. So we want to replace all of those, all sheets, replace all. And we'll get to this stage. And now, all we need to do now is copy and paste this as a list into Screaming Frog. Come over to here, go to mode, list, paste it. And then once you paste it, it will then go through all of the list to see if they have been 301 redirected or if they are in fact a 404. Now, I've sent obviously this list to our client to show that 99% of them are a 404, which means that coming back to the original sitemap, the developer has not implemented the redirects or mapped the old URLs to the new ones. Now that was just the categories, and there's product sitemaps as well. So we're talking 95% of this website wasn't implemented correctly when it was migrated, which means that we can now take the URLs, we can map them to the new URLs on there. So come into here, you say from to, and then we can then map these to the pages we want. So obviously it will be HTTPS, which will be the new version. So come into here, and depending on how much time you have, you can either find the exact product or the exact category, or you can go to a parent category. So as long as we are implementing the redirects correctly, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, you don't have all the time in the world to individually map, but sometimes it's definitely best. And it depends on how much time you can spend on a client. But that's a little clip. What I'll do is I'll add this video and link the Google Doc to the code and add it below the video. Hopefully that is helpful for you, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.